You ever just feel completely swamped, you know, stressed out, overworked, maybe juggling all these new
Oh,
responsibilities?
definitely. Or even sometimes just bored or feeling kind of stuck, right?
Oh,
Even when things are technically going well.
exactly. Like maybe you're a new parent, totally overwhelmed, or you're launching something big at work, or maybe you've even hit some major goals but still feel off. It's pretty universal, I think.
It really is. And, these feelings, this sense of being overwhelmed or anxious, they're not actually new problems.
Right. Not just a modern thing.
Not at all. These are fundamentally human challenges, things people have been wrestling with for thousands of years. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into today.
Okay, great. So this is our deep dive into, well, a really profound stack of sources. We're focusing on a philosophical book, one that's designed to be more than just reading.
Yeah, it's meant to actually guide you towards a more philosophical life. It's very
So
practical.
functional, yeah, like a daily devotional almost.
Hmm.
Super actionable.
Exactly. And it pulls directly from the big names of Stoicism, Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, the Roman statesman, the emperor, the former slave turned teacher.
Wow. And their ideas from way back then, they still hold up today.
Oh, incredibly so. Startlingly relevant, actually. It's like a blueprint for navigating life now.
So how is it structured? How does this ancient wisdom get, organized?
Well, the Stoics had these three core disciplines: perception, action, and will. And this book kind of groups the wisdom around those.
Perception, action, will. Okay.
Yeah, and within that, you get into themes like virtue, mortality, handling emotions, self-awareness, building resilience, solving problems, all the big stuff.
Sounds like a really solid framework. So where do we start? What's the absolute core?
Okay, let's unpack this. The foundational principle, right, under perception, is this. You don't control external events. You just don't.
Right, like traffic or what someone else does.
Exactly. But what you absolutely control is your opinion about those events, your judgment.
Yeah.
You decide if it's good or bad, fair or unfair.
That sounds huge, really empowering. But how does that actually work day to day? Like, give me an example. How does it reduce stress?
Okay, think about that traffic jam example. You're heading to a really important meeting and boom, gridlock. The traffic.
Yeah.
Totally external, out of your control.
Yeah, nothing you can do about the cars.
Right. But your perception, that's all you.
Hmm.
You could choose to get furious, lean on the horn, stress out, arrive frazzled,
Which is what most people probably do.
probably. Or you could perceive it differently. Acknowledge it, okay, traffic exists, it's an indifferent fact. Then decide, how do I use this moment? Maybe you practice breathing, review meeting notes, listen to something useful.
So the situation's the same, but your experience of it changes completely.
Exactly. Your stress levels, your preparedness for the meeting, totally different.
Right.
It's not about ignoring reality. It's about owning your internal response. Suddenly, there's much less you need to worry about.
Ah, clarity and simplicity. I like that.
Yeah. Your only real job is managing your choices, your will, your mind. That circle of control, it really just contains that one thing, your mind.
Not even your body completely.
Nope. Think about illness, accidents, not fully in your control,
Mm.
but your mind, your judgments, that's your domain.
Yeah.
And that's actually good news because it simplifies things drastically.
So it's liberating instead of trying to juggle a million external things.
You focus on the one thing you truly own, your internal world.
Okay, that makes a ton of sense. So if this is so central, how did the Stoics actually practice this? Was it just like a thought exercise?
Oh no, it was very much a daily practice, not just intellectual. They deliberately brought it to mind.
How? Like, what did they do?
Well, in the morning, first thing, they'd remind themselves to use reason and judgment. They'd almost anticipate challenges, mentally preparing their responses. Marcus Aurelius actually wrote about thinking about the difficult people he might meet that day.
Not to judge them, but to prepare himself.
Exactly. To prepare to respond with, calmness. Then, maybe midday, they take a moment to acknowledge, okay, apart from my choices right now, fate isn't entirely up to me. Acceptance.
Right. Accepting what is.
And then, in the evening, they'd review the day. Where did my control begin and end? How much was external? What choices did I make?
A conscious review.
Super conscious. And doing this daily reinforces that this power, the control over your mind, it's the one thing nobody can ever truly take from you. It's like an inner fortress.
Wow. Okay, that's a really practical structure. So building on that internal mastery, Let's shift into action and will. This is where it gets really interesting for us today, right? With all the distractions.
Absolutely. The Stoics talked a lot about identifying and breaking what they called addictions.
Addictions, like serious substance
Well,
abuse.
yes, potentially, but also things we might see as harmless indulgences. That coffee you have to have, constantly checking email, getting sucked into apps, endless news feeds.
Stuff that feels kind of normal now.
Right. But for the Stoics, these could become chains. Seneca put it really strongly. He said, "We must give up many things to which we are addicted. Otherwise, courage will vanish."
Courage vanishes. Why courage?
Because if you can't function without these comforts or routines, if you're enslaved by them, you're not truly free. Your will is compromised. Seneca thought courage needed constant testing, and dependency weakens it.
So an addiction here is anything that kind of controls you instead of you controlling it.
Precisely. Anything that dictates your behavior without your conscious choice. The source urges us to be ruthless with our own habits. Ask yourself, is this really the best way? Am I choosing this, or is the habit choosing for me?
That's a tough question to ask about your morning coffee.
Yeah, maybe. But it's about awareness. What truly serves your purpose versus what's just easy or distracting. That's the discipline of action and play. Conscious choice.
Okay, and this ties into emotions too, right? Especially anger. The Stoics weren't fans.
Not at all. Seneca was blunt. Anger is not impressive or tough. It's a mistake. It's weakness.
That's counterintuitive, isn't it? We often see anger as passion or strength. Why weakness?
Because they saw it as a loss of reason, a kind of temporary insanity. When you're angry, you make bad decisions, you push people away, you ultimately hurt yourself.
So it clouds your judgment.
Massively. Think about the boxer Joe Louis. They called him the ring robot. He was famously calm, composed, that unnerved opponents way more than any angry outburst would have.
Because his calmness showed inner control, strength.
Exactly. Unshakable resolve. Extreme emotions for the Stoics were like toxic fuel. They burn you up from the inside. Martin Luther King Jr. said something similar, didn't he? Hate is too great a burden to bear.
Yeah. Wow. So it's about asking if your emotions are actually serving you.
Or trapping you. Diminishing your power and your peace. Cultivating that calm, especially when provoked, that's a huge part of the discipline of will.
This leads perfectly to another kind of mind-blowing idea under perception. The power of just holding no opinion.
Ah, yes. Marcus Aurelius.
He said you should cultivate the power to have no opinion about something negative. Act like you didn't even know it happened. In today's world, where everyone has to have a take, how does that even work? How does it make irritations less powerful?
It is radical, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
But think about it. Often, our suffering doesn't come from the thing itself, but our judgment about the thing.
Okay.
So, someone's rude or there's a small setback.
Yeah.
If you immediately slap a label on it, this is terrible, unfair, then it becomes terrible and unfair in your experience.
You give it that power.
Exactly. But if
Yeah.
you just observe it without attaching that value judgment, its power over you shrinks dramatically. It's like Marcus Aurelius wasn't saying be ignorant,
Yeah.
but be strategically indifferent to stuff outside your control that doesn't harm your actual character.
So you deny it the fuel, the emotional reaction.
Yeah, so you respond with reason, not knee-jerk reaction. It's basically mental self-defense.
Mental self-defense, I like that. Which seems connected to the next point.
Huh.
Accurate self-assessment. Seneca's true self-estimate.
Mm-hmm. Crucial.
But it sounds tricky. People resist it, right? Afraid of maybe finding out they're not as great as they thought. Goethe said seeing yourself as more than you are is bad, but so is valuing yourself less.
It's a balancing act. It requires ruthless honesty, but the goal is growth, not beating yourself up.
So how do you do it? How do you get that true self-estimate without just puffing yourself up or falling into despair?
It's about looking objectively. Strength, weaknesses, no ego, no self-pity. Think about how often we underestimate our own resilience. We dread things, grief, losing a job, a crisis, but when they happen, we often find strength we didn't know we had.
We surprise ourselves.
So the Stoics say, look inward. What are you capable of based on past evidence? How did you get through tough times before? What resources did you use? It builds real confidence based on facts, not just hope.
And Seneca had a specific practice for this, didn't he? The day in review. Sounds intense.
It was. He kept a journal. And before sleep, he'd really grill himself. Like, what bad habit did I resist today? What fault did I fight? Where could I have been wiser, more patient? What made me happier? What detracted from it?
Yeah.
It wasn't just listing events.
It was analysis.
Assessment. Deep assessment.
Yeah.
identifying patterns, areas for improvement, internalizing lessons. He'd even jot down useful quotes he heard. It makes the wisdom stick. You actually track your progress, see yourself changing.
Okay, so we've dug deep into the inner world, perception, habits, emotions, self-assessment, but we live out here, right? With other people, with stuff.
Hmm.
How do these principles apply externally?
Great question. This brings us firmly into the discipline of action again. The Stoics were very aware of our environment's influence, especially the people.
Ah, the company you keep.
Exactly. They called it find the right scene. You know the Jim Rohn quote? You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Yeah, I've heard that. Goethe said something similar too, right? Tell me who you hang out with.
And I will tell you who you are. Yeah. And the Stoics saw this not just as a saying, but a serious challenge. You have to consciously ask, are the people closest to me making me better?
Or are they dragging me down?
Right. With negativity, gossip, bad habits. And the really tough question follows. Should I spend more or less time with them? It's about protecting your growth.
Sometimes an uncomfortable truth. And what about, money, possessions? Our culture is obsessed, but the Stoics had a different take.
A very different take. The truth about money. You see echoes today, Warren Buffett in the same house since '58. That NFL player, John Urschel, living on $25K a year while earning millions. Kawhi Leonard driving an old car.
Yeah, why? It's not like they're cheapskates. What's the principle? What does it mean the things that matter to them are cheap?
It means their core values, the things that actually bring them fulfillment, virtue, peace of mind. For the Stoics, aren't tied to material wealth. They've detached.
So they're free.
They are free. They have clarity. Buffett loves his work, his family. Urschel valued learning. Leonard values performance, simplicity. Their happiness isn't dependent on buying the next fancy thing.
So for us, it means asking, what am I buying and why? Is it adding real value, or is it just pressure or filling a void?
Exactly. It's aligning your spending with what genuinely fulfills you. That's the discipline of will. Enjoying life regardless of financial ups and downs because your core happiness isn't tied to them.
That clarity is powerful, and it seems to connect to seeing the bigger picture, too, like Plato's view, seeing things from above.
Yeah, the bird's eye view. That astronaut story, Edgar Mitchell seeing Earth from space.
And suddenly politics look petty.
Instant global consciousness, yeah.
Hmm.
It puts things in perspective. And we can do that mentally without needing a rocket.
Now, how do we get that distance on everyday problems?
It's a mental exercise. Discipline and perception again. Facing a crisis. Imagine floating above it all. See your life, the town, the planet. How big does that problem look now?
Probably. Pretty small.
Often, yeah. A fight with a coworker, a missed deadline from that cosmic view, or even just the view of your whole lifespan, they shrink. It helps you see what's truly significant versus just noise. It can make problems seem almost comically small.
That's a useful tool, especially when dealing with difficult people, which Marcus Aurelius seemed to anticipate every morning.
Yeah. When you first rise, tell yourself,
Yeah.
I will encounter busybodies, ingrates, egomaniacs, liars.
Sounds kind of cynical, like he expected the worst.
Not cynical, I think, more
Mm.
realistic and proactive. He wasn't saying people are definitely bad, just that encountering that behavior is possible. He was prepping his mind.
So he wouldn't be surprised or angered.
Exactly. If you expect everyone to be perfect, you're going to be constantly disappointed. But if you mentally prepare for the range of human behavior, you're less likely to get thrown off course.
Like that joke about swallowing a toad every morning to fortify yourself.
Sort of. A deliberate preparation. The goal isn't to dismiss people, but to strengthen your own mind so their issues don't become your issues. You anticipate so you can respond with patience, understanding maybe their behavior comes from their struggles.
Right, so you maintain your own peace and respond wisely, not just react.
You got it. You don't mirror their negativity.
Which loops right back to the power of our judgment.
Right.
It's not the thing itself that troubles you, but only your judgment of it.
FDR is such a powerful example here.
Phenomenal example. Polio at 39. Could have destroyed him.
But he apparently just wiped away the victim mentality almost instantly and became this incredible leader. What was that internal shift? How did perception change everything for him?
That's pure discipline of will. His body was hit, undeniably. External fact, out of his control. But his judgment about it, totally his. He refused to see himself as less than, as defeated.
He focused on what he could still do. His mind, his will, his leadership. He famously said, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And he clearly applied that to himself first. He turned a massive challenge into a source of strength, empathy, connection.
He showed that our response determines whether obstacles break us or build us.
Precisely. It proves the Stoic point.
Hmm.
Your internal response shapes your reality.
Okay, so we've covered perception, action, will, all these amazing principles. What's the big takeaway? What did the Stoics see as the point of philosophy itself?
Well, Seneca said it wasn't a parlor trick or just for show. It's not concerned with words, but with facts.
Meaning,
Meaning it's meant to actually do something, to shape your soul, organize your life, guide your actions. It's not about abstract debates, it's about living better, translating knowing into doing.
right, like Musonius Rufus said, make character your loudest statement. No special uniform for a Stoic.
Only their character identifies them.
Yeah, and Epictetus pushed that too. Show, don't tell. Don't just talk about theories.
Digest them. So
Yeah.
you don't just throw them up later. Show the change in your choices, your actions. Like a gymnast's body shows their training. It's embodied wisdom.
And this leads to that amazing Marcus Aurelius quote about revenge.
Oh, yeah, that's a powerful one. The best way to avenge yourself is to not be like that.
Think about that. Someone's rude, dishonest. If you fire back with the same energy,
You just validate their behavior. You sink to their level.
but the Stoic way is be better.
Seek to be better than the things that hurt or disappoint you. That's real self-mastery. You control your character. You don't let others degrade it. So empowering.
And that builds resilience, right? Epictetus again, no pain, no gain. Challenges show your character.
He saw challenges almost like a gift from the universe, like a sparring partner, there to make you stronger.
So adversity isn't just something bad happening to you.
It's an opportunity to practice virtue. Patience, courage, fortitude. Every challenge builds that inner fortress Marcus Aurelius talked about.
A mind freed from passions is an impenetrable fortress.
A person has no more secure place of refuge for all time. You build it piece by piece with every reasoned response to difficulty.
Which brings us back to time. Seneca's essay, Life is Long if you know how to use it. We don't have too little time, we just waste it.
We squander it, fritter away our powers incessantly in caring for things outside of them, obsessing over stuff we can't control, opinions, the past, anxieties, distractions.
Especially relevant today with busyness being like a status symbol.
Totally. And then Marcus Aurelius hits us with, it's a disgrace in this life when the soul surrenders first while the body refuses to.
That's intense. Like, is our spirit giving up before our body actually does?
Are we mentally quitting when we still have the capacity to endure, to act? He lived it, illness, war, empire, right to the end. It's a call to squeeze every drop of meaning and virtue out of our time, focusing only on what matters, what's in our control.
So this whole deep dive, it really gives us a solid framework. Clarity, managing ourselves internally, handling the outside world, living with purpose.
Yeah, and it's not about huge gestures. It's about those consistent, daily, reasoned choices. It's philosophy for doing.
Definitely. And maybe the final thought to leave everyone with comes straight from the Stoics.
Right. You essentially have two crucial tasks in life. Be a good person and pursue the work that you love. Anything else, it's just wasted energy, squandered potential.
Wow. Okay. So the challenge for you listening right now is to reflect. What is it that only you can do? What's the absolute best use of your limited time here?
Because remember, real wisdom isn't just in the knowing, it's found in your actions, in living that good life.
Embodying justice, self-control, courage, freedom, and, well, just trying not to do harm.
Yeah.
That's where it's at.